Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Path of Exile Friday Night Chill stream. I am the Lord Otter, and I am joined tonight by Mr. Billy Bobsack. How are you doing, man?
Applaw. Doing fine.
Nice, nice. So tonight I am streaming Path of Exile, which is a nice little isometric dark fantasy hack and slash action RPG thing, if you haven't heard of it before. I think Billy's playing his own game while we're speaking, and yeah, tonight we're just chilling along. So grab a drink, friends, and have fun in joining us. I see we are joined tonight by Miss Author Alyssa Hazel. Hail, let's see here. That's right. I need to go ahead and get the sound going again. There we are.
Yeah, I'm just playing the first Ascendant, grinding the character, leveling up.
Yeah, and we're just starting out here tonight, so honestly, we're just chilling along. So I'm kind of in the middle of playing a barbarian character here, and honestly, it there's not really that much of a story to speak of when it comes to Path of Exile. I mean, there is one, and it's decently written, but it's not that important either. This is very much a grindy sort of game in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, it's the looter Diablo type game.
Yeah, if you play Diablo, you have a pretty good idea of what to expect, pretty much. And you, Billy, you're playing more First Descendant.
Yeah, I'm playing a looter shooter.
Yeah. So one of us is playing a Diablo clone, another is playing a full-on like Destiny style looter shooter.
Yes. But with tits and ass.
Obviously. And I'm immediately getting my ass kicked.
Yeah. So I'm getting a free series collection from Pink
Free what?
Star Trek. A free DVD collection of Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard that you all were talking about it just the other night. I haven't seen any of Voyager myself. I've always heard rather mixed things about Star Trek Voyager.
From what I know, it's not my cup of tea. But it was free, so fuck it.
Yeah, I was always more of a original series TNG fan. I do like what I've seen of Deep Space Nine. It's just I haven't watched much of it.
Deep Space Nine. How do I put it? Either you really like it or you absolutely fucking hate it. And a lot of like the old school Trekkies really don't like DS9 because, well, the Federation does start getting their hands dirty during the Dominion War. I don't like
that's
that.
what I've seen as well. It's a lot more of a shady side to the Federation.
Yeah, well, towards later in the seasons is when it starts doing that with the in the Dominion War, where
Yeah, and I
like
know everybody
the
loves
entire
Quark.
Alpha Quadrant is just getting curb stomped in this war. Like they're not even fighting the actual original main full power of the Dominion. They're just fighting the little ones that managed to get a foothold.
Well, obviously, I've only seen part of the first season of Deep Space Nine. I always hear it's like around the end of the second season when it gets really good, like start of the third season, right around that time.
Yes, the first two seasons it's rough, mainly because they're still trying to figure out how the series is going to go.
Right.
And you have a lot of kind of like repurposed, thrown away TNG scripts in the first and second season. And it has some of the worst episodes in the show.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember exactly when the episodes were, like the smelly people one. I fucking God.
I have not seen that one. The smelly people one?
Yeah, they're smelly, scaly, fucking just disgusting. Their society is like a matriarchy, so it's just a gender flip of like the man stays home and does nothing and is barefoot and not pregnant in this one.
It sounds like a really boring episode already.
Yeah, they meet them. They're looking for their promised land from their religion, and then they look at Bajor and they're like, "No, Bajor's us." And the Bajorans basically said, "Yeah, kick rocks, bitch. Like we just came out of a 50-year occupation. We don't want you, smelly fucks."
Oh my
Well, they
god,
didn't like
this is
that.
insanity already. Yeah, for reference, I think it's just Alyssa Hazel in the chat. Path of Exile isn't always this chaotic. It just so happens to be at this particular moment.
Well, you've only put in so many hours. You'll eventually get there on it.
Oh, I know it gets really difficult, but it's not quite to that point yet. Not completely. Oh, and I'm gonna die.
Also, DS9 is it has an overarching plot way more than any of the other series.
Yeah, it all kind of ties around Bajor and the portal just outside of the planet. Isn't that right?
The portal's not outside of the planet. It's a little bit away. It's like an hour or two flight away. Pretty much what they're because at the first episode is where the portal opens because they find it, and then they end up moving the fucking space station there to claim it against the Kardashians.
Right. Also, this is a ton of loot. Probably the most I've seen so far.
Also, Gul Dukat did nothing wrong.
Gul Dukat did nothing wrong.
The writers, so the writers are like full on commies and shit.
Well, I mean, what else is new?
So they really didn't like that people really like Gul Dukat.
Oh.
They just kept making him like more and more like fucking evil, and people were like, "No, I really like him." One, because the actor was really good.
Also, for everybody in the chat, if you want to see how insane a skill tree can get, take a little look at this. It's just a little much. I mean, it's a lot to look at, but if you really break it down, it's some pretty simple upgrades. It's a lot to look at. Which, I'm just gonna upgrade my life, and then go back to the game.
Well, you know, the UI dude, he got really pissed and said, "Fuck you, this is what you get."
Like, he really got into just designing that skill tree. He must have been having the time of his life.
Probably was. And they went, "Fuck. Well, we didn't pay attention to him for the last, 3 months. Well, guess we're just going to have to go with it."
Alyssa's just like, are you sure that's not a motherboard? Well, I'm not entirely sure, Alyssa. It could be a motherboard.
Is the Path of Exiles doing like a lot of what anime does with the fantasy, where it's basically like sci-fi-ish shit?
At least so far, it's a little more like, it's more grounded dark fantasy. You could kind of compare it a bit more to like Berserk or something out of stuff we've recently read. I'll compare it to like that, or, well, Diablo is an obvious choice. That game is pretty macabre when it wants to be. Ooh, a treasure
I'm
chest
just saying, like
with nothing in it.
if it looks like a circuit board, maybe that's their hint. You know, it's a sci-fi, but
No, it's
totally.
not doing the anime thing there. It's not being that pretentious. It's just somebody really enjoyed making that skill tree.
I don't get why Japan has like a fixation on that type.
Well, sci-fi and fantasy have always kind of gone back and forth with each other. That's the thing. You get a little bit of a mix in either genre. That's why they're linked so often. The thing is, like, I think a lot of anime in particular, it loves to go down kind of like this high technology route. Like, there's got to be spaceships along with your swords and sorcery, which I'm not always a fan of. Sometimes it works. A lot of the time it doesn't. It just depends.
Right, but it's like super common, and it's the exact same thing. They don't even try to vary it up or try to make the technology look any different. No, it's just glowing symbol shit, high tech looking smooth surfaces. You know,
Right.
always that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Final Fantasy was one of the big franchises to really make it popular, but it's always kind of been a thing.
Right.
Yeah, science fantasy is basically Star Wars. In a lot of ways, yeah. Star Wars, you could really argue, is, at least plot-wise, it's a straight-up fantasy story. It just so happens to have robot companions, spaceships, black holes, planetoids, what have you. But yeah, it really varies on what kind of ideas you're exploring, what the overall kind of like structure of the plot is. But I think at the end of the day, that's kind of where the difference lies. Because the line does get hazy quite a bit.
Well, I mean, the Star Wars is like very heavily inspired by Flash Gordon.
Right, right. Oh my god. Act 4 has gotten a lot more difficult, I have to say.
Don't worry. You need to start leveling your gear up. You need to start, I don't know if that has like substats on the weapons and shit as well.
There is. It gets a little convoluted after a while.
Yeah, sounds like most looters.
Yeah, this is just one that I have a bit more fun playing. I'm not really a big looter shooter kind of guy, but as for looter ARPGs, they're pretty alright. I don't mind them. I'm enjoying this quite a bit.
Then it takes all your money.
Well, at least so far,
Here, just pay this.
all of the paid content in this game is just purely cosmetic, which, I mean, I'm not complaining.
For now.
For now. It's actually less predatory than Final Fantasy XIV, and even Final Fantasy XIV, I would argue, is not bad, really.
But to be fair, it's a free-to-play game, so gotta make money somehow.
Right. Well, this is one of those games where I believe the community has pretty much nothing but positive things to say about it. Or at least to my knowledge, that's the case.
Right. Oh, man. So you haven't done raids or anything in that game?
No, well, you're kind of getting into more roguelike dungeon crawls after a certain point. In Act 3, they had what's called a labyrinth, which is basically just a big dungeon run. If you die, you've got to go back all the way to the beginning.
Also, if you hear like trumpet music playing, there's a football game going across the street.
I'm not hearing any trumpet music playing.
I'm just saying if you do, that's what it is.
Alright, fair enough.
No.
Fair enough. This is also saying
Yeah,
if you look
more
at
of,
old Hyperborea stuff, there's some crossover with a lot of stuff, Lemurians, etc. Yeah, Robert E. Howard, he really liked to experiment with a lot of different genres. I can't say I'm the most knowledgeable on Conan lore. Oh my god. But even so, like, there were, like, even outside of the influence of Robert E. Howard, like, there were a lot of comic crossovers. It was all sorts of stuff. I'm trying to think out of the Conan stories I've read, how much it flirts with sci-fi ideas. There's dinosaurs in, what is it, Red Nails? They fight an actual dinosaur at first that they just call a dragon.
In which one?
Conan.
Thing is, I haven't read Coded yet, or even the comics or anything. I eventually will.
I at least recommend reading the pulp short stories by Robert E. Howard. There are some good ones that aren't Robert E. Howard. There's a few ones I really like from El Sprague de Camp. Not all of them. It just kind of depends. But, I mean, most of the ones that Howard put out, you can't really fault that much.
Also, Otter, you need to bring up the meme you called out a lot of us yesterday.
Oh, the writer's meme?
Yeah.
Oh. Where a lot of writers don't really write so much as fantasize about their story. Well, I'm guilty of that. Like, it's much easier to fantasize about the story you're writing than to actually write it.
Yeah, but I need to start writing. I've been doing that the last couple of days. I gotta write the shit down.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Be like, all right, how does this make sense? You know, I gotta turn this into a story.
I'm firmly of the belief that it's all about establishing a rhythm. If you can get a rhythm down, even on the tougher days, you can still make some progress.
Look, you can hear it now.
Oh, the football game?
Heard it that. Yep.
Yeah, I can hear it just barely over the sound of dying demons.
But no, I gotta write some of this stuff down because I've got themes and stuff. And listen, the inspirations will be apparent with the story.
It's best to wear your inspirations on your sleeve, in my opinion. I'm not gonna act like my stuff's original by any stretch of the imagination. It's just me putting my own spin on it.
Well, like I said, I was inspired by Konosuba for this Brotherhood. And I was like, you know what? I like this.
I mean, hey, like, to a certain degree, I was inspired by a few different anime. Hell, mine, you could make the argument that there's a lot of parallels between it and Full Metal Alchemist. And it wasn't even intentional. You can just easily make that comparison. So it happens. Some of the inspirations you intend, some just kind of come about. You don't even think about it.
I'm so ready to read Deluxe Volume 1 Berserk. Reread it.
Oh yeah. We're finally getting to the happier parts of the story.
Well, we got some more brutal shit to get through.
It kind of takes a break for the most part after that, though. The one scene I know that's coming.
That's towards the end of the book.
Yeah.
Of this. Deluxe Volume 10 is actually where it slows down and it's like heavily character development for the finale.
Oh my god, I am slowed down. I need to get out.
Nodder's gonna be like, oh god, I gotta start screenshotting soon for him.
Oh boy.
It's always work.
I'm trying to think, is 10 the next one I'm actually hosting? Is that right?
Yep.
Alright.
Mm-hmm. It's 10, and then you'll be doing 13.
My
so you get to...
God, I am slow against this guy.
You actually get a happy deluxe volume, to be honest.
Very happy, for the most part.
Well, it's like right when we're fixing to get the Casca stuff.
Billy, I know you can't see this, but I'm moving in slow motion right now. It's a little sad.
We're fixing the... You don't have to cover the totally gorilla mushrooms, you know?
Oh yeah, that's way later.
Yeah, you don't have to cover that on your stream.
Yeah, thankfully not. We've had to cover a lot of scarring stuff on our channels already for this series. But, yeah, thankfully none of that.
And then... Gotta figure out. I might wait until after we're done with Berserk. Because, like I said, we're gonna start getting these a whole lot quicker done.
Yeah.
To do our Vagabond.
Noticing that the game is just trying to throw as many enemies as it can at certain points just to see how quickly it can take down your health.
Oh, this poor player. He's doing the White Neck Gulch stuff with Sharon. I was like, oh, buddy.
Alyssa, where's the sequel? It's actually in beta reading as we're talking right now. I'm nearly a quarter of the way through the third draft, and to my shock and surprise, a lot of my beta readers are saying it's pretty close to being done, which is actually very hopeful for getting this book out fairly quickly.
Yeah, because you actually started making improvements from the alpha from the earlier draft.
Yeah, well, I also have
really
a lot more of a plan this time around. First one, I did have a plan as well, but this one I had a much better idea of what I had to look out for.
That's right.
Yeah, between the feedback you and Sybil give me alone, that alone improves it a lot, like straight up.
Yeah, I didn't have too much problems with the beta reading part.
Yeah. So for a bit of foreshadowing, Alyssa, this story will be a bit darker than the first one. Surprise, surprise. It's going to be a little more of a horror focus, even a tinge of romance here and there, with a few twists.
And some Bill Cosby references, no
Uh,
spoilers.
yeah, don't you say anything more, Billy.
Hold up. No, I'm ready. I'm here in the next couple weeks. I'm fixing to get back into it.
Yeah, I want to start beta reading your stories, man. I also need to beta read a few other stories that I've kind of been slacking on just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I'm getting hyped again. This thing, battling like the slump of. I don't know how to put it. Trying to find motivation again to get back into writing.
Yeah, it's I think at the end of the day you should be having fun with writing, because I don't know about most people, but I'm not in writing to make a lot of money, because most writers don't make a ton of money from their stories. There's exceptions, but I mean,
Well, that's why I treat this more as a hobby, not a full career or ever expected to be a full thing.
there's a certain part of me that puts on the business hat, but like I don't think you can do that completely. To a certain degree, I think it robs the fun of it, because at the end of the day, you're trying to sell a fun story to people. So it's like, if you want people to have fun, a good way to clue them in is to just have fun with it yourself, not take it too seriously, not act too much like a business like everybody else. But maybe
Yeah.
that's just my approach.
Well, like I said, like when it comes to like covers and shit, like I'm not expecting, to get like the return on the investment what I spent on it.
Well, it's like very few authors will make a return on their first book just because you're still trying to get the ball rolling. You need to release a few books before you can really start getting that proper revenue coming in. So, I mean, like, I'll say this: all of the profits I've made from my book, which, I mean, as much as grateful as I am, it's still only so much. It's I'm just gonna be dumping it into the fund for the second book. I think that's a pretty good investment for it.
It's right. You make all the money. No, I'm just fucking with you.
That was surprisingly easy. I thought I had to fight this ghost lady, but no. I just had to click to free. And this is gonna be a lot tougher, I know it. Yep, I'm slowed. Oh my god.
Hold up.
Can I
Concentrate.
stun this guy? Not really. Come on, come on. Alyssa says I feel that same boat, different row. Yeah, at this point, I think a lot of us are just trying to get our start in the indie community, and a lot of it's going to take time, I feel. I'm speaking from inexperience, of course.
That's right. Shut up, you little bitch.
I'll say what I want to say, alright?
No, and also, I don't think I ever wanted like to be a full thing either, because like I don't want to like have to force myself to come up with stories,
Well, I don't want it to be like an assembly line or whatever, I want it to feel like natural whenever I come up with a story. there's a certain part of me is like, you do want to make a story every so often, like don't leave it for so long, but at the same time, I want it to be like an actual idea that like emerged in my head that I really want to start expanding on. Like for me, that's where you can get some of the most fun stories.
Right. Oh my god, I only got to do this 2 more times. 2 more levelings up. Oh god.
So continues the grind.
Jeez. Well, I got to do that and then do the fucking weapon that I'm crafting. The
Oh
ultimate.
yeah.
That I do need for this character and for bossing.
I'm nearly through these mines. Nearly. The exit is just right over here, or at least I hope it's an exit.
1 hour, I'll have it.
Oh no, it's just more. More monsters.
And then I'll craft it 4 more times so I can increase its unique ability.
Yeah.
Then I gotta re-level it. To have it fully gone.
Yeah, believe it or not, I don't normally like to play a ton of grindy games. I think a lot of them can get repetitive, just my own personal taste. This is an exception, but I always prefer more like conventional CRPGs for the most part. I think they're more fun. They give you more like actual choices to make. But of course, there's always exceptions there.
Well, this one I like because, I mean, you do got unique characters with their abilities and shit, so you do have different playthrough. I mean, it's still repetitive kill shit. Keep killing more shit. Open shit. To kill more shit.
Right.
That's the gameplay loop. But it's fun. Also, I don't have to put a super lot of thought into it like other games.
Well, games like this make the perfect conversation starter. Because while I'm getting my ass handed to me, I can talk about something completely different. And what the fuck is that?
Did you get any more through Hajime no Ippo?
Yeah.
Hajime no Ippo.
I'm about like 40, 45 episodes into it. I'm right in the middle of his fight with, what's his name? The Russian guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The voice that you've got for him is the most stereotypical Russian accent.
Mama, I have to do it for Mama.
I have to do it for Mama. I want to drink hot soup. It's like it's like how it's like how straightforward can this be?
Like, to the point where I'm like, all right, what does it sound like in Japanese? Like, they just go generic Japanese, or they try doing like a Japanese or a Russian stereotypical Japanese accent, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm curious how it would sound in Russian.
I wonder. I legitimately wonder. Sometimes when it comes to stuff like this, the sub can actually shine through. They'll put a unique twist on it, or maybe not. We'll see.
Well, he's got to get back to his mama.
His mama.
If he doesn't, he'll lose. His whole backstory is he had to walk through a blizzard to get his mother medicine, and he got snowed in.
Oh, hail, Stormcrow. Thanks for joining us tonight.
So he decided to become a boxer.
Yeah, but so far, I still love Hajime no Ippo. It feels like a crime I haven't checked it out until now. Whenever anybody talks about sports anime, it's like one of the first ones that come up. Everybody respects it. And I see why. It's a very, very straightforward, honest series.
That you must sell your soul to, and I'm just joking. Or am I?
You must sell your soul to be a boxer.
Yeah, the one disappointing, and it's not really the show's fault, but it's just from the manga they're adapting. Like, we never get to see Matahachi versus Ippo again.
Yeah, that's true.
What's his name? It's not Matahachi. I get him name, and Ippo's technically his first or last.
Miyata, that's his name.
Miyata. Matahachi is Ippo.
I think so, yeah. Ooh, crafting recipe.
I guess Hajime means like first step in the title,
Yeah, I think that's what it translates to. Alright, watch me die.
which I was so confused because I was like, I thought his name was Hajime no Ippo.
No, no.
So when they were saying Matahachi, and I was like, are they talking about the other dude?
God.
Confused.
Somehow I'm sticking in here. Or I'm hanging in there. Wait, now I'm mincing words while I'm trying to deal with monsters. Isn't that fun? I survived. But at what cost?
Everything.
Oh.
And evidently, I think I watched some things where people watched the new Alien movie.
I didn't even know there was a new Alien movie coming out until people started talking about it about 2 days ago. I knew nothing about it.
I remember the leak from like a year or something ago, the name and everything.
Yeah.
But I was confused because I think the leak was it was supposed to be a TV show, and then they changed it into like a movie. From what I know, like evidently the first half is okay, and like the second half is not good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The first movie is the one I have the most love for. I have a few problems with Aliens, but I still largely enjoy it. Even 3, I think, has its merits. After that point, there's parts of Prometheus I like. That's kind of it, though.
Alien 4 is just when you have a writer and a director gonna get two different tones.
Alien 4 has Ron Perlman in it. That's something.
I'm trying to remember, I think it was the writer was wanting it to be serious and the director was wanting it to be fucking slapstick.
Yeah, so you get this very like jarring tone. I'm getting like Happening vibes whenever I think of that. At first you have like this very serious tone, and then by the end they're just like, oh yeah, it's a parody, you know?
Right, I'm trying to remember. It was either one. It was like either the director or the writer was wanting to be serious, and the other one didn't.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. What I've seen of that movie, I haven't seen all of it. It has a very weird tone that does not feel like Alien in the slightest. Ripley's in it. There's a xenomorph. That's about it.
Well, Ripley's a clone.
Yeah, that's right. She's a clone, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a clone superhuman. And she has alien DNA in her. Because her and the Queen. Because at the end of Alien 3 where it fucking shoots out her chest in the lava.
That's so stupid. There's certain cuts of that movie that don't go that route, but the cut I've seen the most has it like bursting out of her chest right when she's falling into the lava, which I always thought was kind of stupid.
So, just to give you an idea, that the theatrical version was the censored version.
Yeah.
The extended cut wasn't, so that's why you have like differing scenes. That's why, like, you know, the xenomorph in that movie, it was really like a dog, but in the theatrical cut they changed it to a cow, which is why it doesn't really make sense, like the features of the xenomorph.
The weird thing is, like, dog or cow, I still think it's a disturbing thought that it's actually procreating after an animal instead of a human. Like, either way, it's still kind of messed up.
Well, I'm talking about the features of that xenomorph, where it was very small, dog-like, and really fast.
Right, it makes more sense for it to be kind of like modeled after a dog.
But for some reason, they changed. I don't know why you changed it, because in the theatrical version, it makes no fucking sense for this cow xenomorph. Like a little known fact, I don't think cows are fucking like incredibly quick. You know?
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Oh.
100% sure.
Well, I have insider information that says that you're wrong on that.
And then what else was it? You had Charles Dance, but you fucking kill him like halfway through the movie. He was the romance.
Oh yeah.
Ripley, he's the doctor. The Ripley was banging.
That movie went through so many revisions too, so many reshoots. It had like 3 or 4 different versions of the story. I think William Gibson had written the script to one of the versions. Oh my god. I'm still losing health. Oh, I'm on fire, that's why.
I remember like their original thought process for Alien 5 was they were supposed to go like to the Xenomorph's home planet or some shit.
There was another idea they had in an earlier draft where Ripley was stranded on like a wooden planet. Like the planet, it was a planetoid made of wood, and there was a bunch of monks there, and
That sounds so stupid. That doesn't even make any sense.
yeah, a wood planet is kind of stretching it just a little bit, just a little bit.
A little bit. You know the structural integrity of wood. It rots.
Bless him for being in the movie. I agree, Alyssa.
What'd she say?
Bless him for being in the movie. I'm assuming she's talking about Ron Perlman. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think, or Charles Dance.
That probably Charles Dance. I'm way behind here.
Do you know who Charles Dance is?
Not exactly.
You know the guy who plays Tywin in Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah.
That's Charles Dance.
Okay.
He was the doctor in Alien 3. That Ripley got the fuck, before he died.
Well, going out with a bang, I guess.
I mean, I like the concept. I like the concept of a prison, but it wasn't really a prison. It was a penal colony.
Right.
That's where at. But I still like that concept of,
It's a cool idea. Like, I don't hate it at all. I just think it could have been done a bit better. Like, for all of the problems that Alien 3 went through, I still don't hate the movie.
I do hate the fact that they fucking retards completely killed off. Well, technically, they killed him off. It was later retconned in that really shitty Aliens game.
Yeah.
Of Hudges and the little girl getting fucking killed in the beginning of Alien 3. You don't remember that?
Not
Hudges
exactly.
from Alien 2. I might be misremembering his name. The dude that the little girl and the military soldier that Ripley and them escape in Aliens with. They go into the cryo thing.
Bishop? No. Hicks.
Yeah.
Hicks is the only other one of them that actually survives. Well, not for terribly long.
Well, I mean, they retconned him being back alive. That's the whole plot of Alien. Alien Colonial Marines. Remember that shit?
I know a lot of people called bullshit whenever that happened.
Because that was Warner Brothers' big thing of being like, you should really get this game. Also, it's gonna involve the plot from Aliens and Aliens 3, and it was Hicks actually didn't die, and that wasn't him in the tube, which makes no sense.
I agree, Alyssa. They killed off Newt. For me, that was probably one of the biggest gut punches of Alien 3. In one way, I like it, and another way, I really don't. I'm kind of 50-50 on it.
I don't like it just because why?
Well, for one, it kind of directly contradicts the ending of the second movie, and it's like, I get that you're trying to go for an oppressive tone, but I think it could have done it in a different way instead of just retconning the ending to the second movie.
There's no reason to kill her.
No, there really wasn't.
I mean, just have her get removed off the planet or something. I don't know.
Well, that was honestly the least of Alien 3's problems. Like I said, I still don't hate the movie or anything, but there's still a lot it could have done better.
But then we got what was it? I like Alien versus Predator, the first one. Yeah, it's not great, but yeah,
It's
still
not a
like
good
it.
movie, but I still have fun with it. That's the best way I can describe that movie.
But Alien versus Predator Requiem, that movie was dog shit.
I've never seen that movie. I'm trying to think of the other. I think I watched not Predators. What was it? It was like the one that everybody fucking hated whenever it came out. Not Predators, the one after that. It was actually directed by Shane Black.
The people really hated it, Predators as well. Are you talking about the one that came out in like 2019 or some shit?
Yes, that one. That movie was dog shit. I absolutely hated that movie.
Requiem was still worse.
Really. Well, I haven't seen Requiem. Like, I've only
It
seen
is
little bits and pieces of it.
it is a dog shit like slasher fucking movie. Yes, you heard me right, slasher. And it had so Otter, you know my proclivities for like dark shit and gore and all that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. You know, I like it.
Like, I don't
This
mind it
movie,
either, just depending on how it's done.
well, I'm gonna get to it. I can most time I can go for it in any series. This is the one time where it actually was like disgusting. They had a scene in the hospital because this town's getting overrun by the aliens,
Yeah.
and this woman's like pregnant, and then they have a scene where the alien predator queen thing fucking mouth fucks her with the thing, and then the aliens pop out of her stomach with her babies eaten.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah, and it's the one time where I'm like, "Fuck you, movie!" Like this is
It's just like,
this
what
was
the
so
fuck?
uncalled for. This was so fucking uncalled for. By the way, I'm the guy who's all fine with gore and dark shit, but I'm like, no.
It's going too far. It's like, well, I'm fine with like blood and gore in a movie or a story in general, but it's like, it's got to serve a purpose. That just feels like it's just there to like fuck with you, you know? There's
Yeah,
no other purpose.
the movie fucking starts with a father and son hunting, and then the father getting killed, and the father and son getting hit with the face hug, and the son's like 7 years old.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's to the point where I'm like, even for me, this is stupid,
Yeah, I've had family who's watched that
unnecessary.
movie. They've said the same thing. It's like there's a few scenes where it's like it crosses the line into just being like straight up like cruel, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch that. That's
The
not what
hospital
I'm
scene
into.
is the most cruel, and like I said, I can do all kinds of dark shit. I mean, like for example, in Deluxe Volume 9, the troll cave scene doesn't actually bother me as much. Fucked up, but I'm like, eh.
Alyssa Hazel is saying Michael Fassbender versus Michael Fassbender was very weird in the newer ones. I'll agree with that. That was kind of
Oh,
weird.
he's talking about, or she's talking about Alien Covenant.
Yeah, Alien
I,
Covenant. It also kind of builds up his story in Prometheus. Michael Fassbender feels like he's pretty much the main character of those movies.
well, because he is, because for one, an atheist wants to keep making fucking religious themes in his story for some reason.
Yeah, it's like it's to the point where I'm like, why is this here? Like, I'm Christian myself, but I'm like, it just feels like it's kind of there just to be there. I don't understand why it's there.
It's high art, don't you know?
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
you
of
know that
course.
David is the creator? Because he retconned that in there, that David made the alien. Even though the alien eggs in fucking the original Alien movie were there for over 1,000 years. Like, sure, it makes sense. Sure, sure.
You know, as someone who normally hates nihilism in stories, one of the few notable exceptions I'll always point out where it does work is horror. Nihilism in horror works very well, in my opinion. Because you start getting into, like, this Lovecraftian angle, where it's like, you're pretty much on your own, and it's just basic, like, instinctual, like, biology that's carrying you through. That's probably one of the most horrifying things about Lovecraftian horror, and I do like that. It works.
Oh, I am a very American on this, and I like my horror movies to at least have a happy ending.
Yeah, well, if it's going to have a dark ending, I think it should be built up properly. I don't think it should be like, oh, they beat the bad guy. Oh, just kidding. They all died. I'm like, I hate that.
Like, I'm not very British when it comes to it, I'm just like, I like my happy endings.
Well, I just think if there's going to be a downer
Especially
ending,
at a Spall,
If there's going to be a downer ending, I believe it has to be foreshadowed. I don't think it can just come out of nowhere and expect everybody to be on board with it.
Yes.
I think that mine I was going through was a bit of a difficulty spike. This alternate dimension I'm in is much easier.
Dude, I'm still waiting in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero that comes out in October.
Yeah.
Just because if they do follow the old trend of old Dragon Ball games, there's gonna be some bullshit difficulty spot thrown in there. You're like, this was really fun, and then I'm just getting my nuts crushed. Like,
at some point, I really want to try and finish the original Baldur's Gate. I love that game, but the difficulty spikes in it are so bullshit. Old BioWare games are terrible for that.
Of course
Baldur's
they are.
Gate is probably one of the worst ones for their whole difficulty spikes. They can be really bad.
Oh, just fucking Dragon Age flashbacks.
Oh, you think Dragon Age is bad? You haven't fought the wizards in Baldur's Gate 1. They are some grade A bullshit.
Listen, I have fought the fucking Dark Jedis in KOTOR.
Okay, I haven't played KOTOR. I do eventually need to get to KOTOR.
In which they'll keep spamming Forced Whirlwind, so you're just perma-fucking getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, that sounds like a BioWare difficulty spike, alright.
Like, please, for the love of God, one of you fuckers fail, because it's like 2 or 3 of them you're fighting at a time, and you're just permanently stuck in the Whirlwind attack.
I'm convinced one of the guys who worked at BioWare back in the day was just a sadist DM, because there's a lot of points in their older games where it feels like they are trying as hard as they can to stack the deck against people.
The final mission in KOTOR as well. Good lord, it has like an infinite wave spawn, and you gotta push through them, and it's like I said, Dark Jedi, so they're spamming those fucking abilities.
Yep. Sounds about right.
I basically had to say fuck it and just run past them as quick as I can with the character with the most amount, because you got to get to the terminal panel in the back.
Yeah.
And that'll cause them to stop spawning. I also have major fucking glitches going on during that as well. That were really annoying.
I think I'm in full-on bullet hell territory here.
You might be under leveled too as well.
I'm over leveled. I'm like 10 levels over or something like that.
Yeah, but your weapons.
I don't know. The equipment I've been coming across isn't. I just think the game is getting harder.
I think you also just might be under leveled. Shit.
It actually shows you in the area you're in. Monster level is 37. My actual character level is 44. I'm about right.
Yeah. What's your equipment?
Equipment level. Let's see here. Requires level 44 for this item. No, it's about right. And it's well above what I've had before. I've actually been min-maxing this character pretty good.
I fucked this up.
It's just after a while these games do get pretty tough. At least to my knowledge.
Some of it's also you're not perfectly geared and stuff as well. Keep in mind. They do have like DPS checks. Shit.
Make sure you do that. Well, it was specifically when I went into certain parts of Act 4 that then all of a sudden it got way harder. Before then, no trouble at all.
Like the amount of people in the first Ascendant who the game did do a horrible job of like letting you know, hey, asshole, you need to start like upgrading modules and shit because everyone was carrying them through the intercept bosses because either their DPS wasn't high enough or they weren't putting health modules.
Oh, one thing I may be doing wrong is leveling up. I have like this ascendant tree from the labyrinth I went through. I need to level that up. It has some pretty big buffs there. I think that might be somewhere I'm going wrong.
That's right.
Yeah,
If you're
these games
over
are
leveled,
all about numbers. All about higher and higher numbers.
well, if you're over leveled, should be like no fucking reason you're having trouble in an area.
Well, it's more like enemies can... It's not that my attacks aren't doing enough, it's just enemies can whittle down your health very quickly depending on the situation.
Right, but you should be like killing them quicker than they can damage you.
For the most part, that is true. Like, I actually haven't died yet. Come close a couple of times.
Well, that's just nasty. That's not stuff for a live stream, Otter.
Oh, hail, Wrangler. Welcome to the chat. Peace. Oh, right when I was about to read this comment, I get ambushed. The game knows what I'm about to do before I do it. Stop stun locking me, game.
Your sister's gonna be so upset when she dies in Call of Cthulhu tomorrow. She's not gonna get you a Christmas present or anything as well.
Oh well. You win some, you lose some.
It is gonna be funny when Rick Nikita is the only one left alive.
There we go. That was really annoying.
Matter of fact, we're gonna make them listen to an epilogue of how Nick Nikita became like a ginormous like tycoon of the Baldo Empire.
Rick Nikita?
Yeah, Rick Nikita. That's what I said, bitch. Has no relation with Nick Nikita at all.
Absolutely none whatsoever. The character completely isn't a Nick Nikita shitpost.
No, totally isn't. You know what we got to do? We got to do like a Call of Cthulhu one shot, but it's around like shitty YouTube like lolcows. So we're all playing like shitpost.
One character.
Someone will be playing like
Boogie.
Boogie.
Be playing Boogie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boogie, Keemstar, Destiny. There you go.
Nah, there's better picks than Keemstar. To be honest.
Vito.
Yeah, you can put Vito on there.
There you go.
Put Vito, Boogie. Who else? Oh, put Review Tech USA.
Yeah. That's a fair choice. I used to watch Review Tech USA back in the day, and well, it didn't last terribly long. And then I tried going back a few years ago, and I went, "Oh, I can't believe I used to watch this."
Yeah, he became like a full-on lolcow, fucking.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, Chris Chan. That's what Alyssa's saying. Yeah.
Oh God. You know what? Here's the thing. I think he transcends lolcow in the sense that well, he actually raped or SA'd his mother. You know, pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants to play. You know?
No.
Even for a joke, we're like, we're gonna forget he ever existed.
We'll just have him be the end-game boss.
Oh, someone play. Someone play Mr. Beast.
Oh my God.
He's just selling.
This just gets better and better the more ideas we start pitching for who we should be playing.
The thing would be like they're having to put on like an entertaining like live stream for like Cthulhu or fucking murder them and their family.
Yeah.
And they're trying to see who can get more views and super chats and shit.
Oh,
session. Well, I'm telling you, this would be great. That's why we get Sybil and Tinkake to join us on.
I think after this Call of Cthulhu one-shot, the next thing I want to try out is Castles and Crusades. I've always heard good things about Castles and Crusades. I also want to play a system that's a little deadlier than 5e. Just a little.
Yeah, but how much easier is the character creation? That's the thing too.
From what I saw, it's pretty damn simple. You can likely make a character in like 10-15 minutes.
Alright, so that makes sense. Because the thing is, with some of these systems, like, yeah, you want it more deadly, but you don't want it fucking 1E deadly. Mainly because if it takes a fucking 30 to an hour to create a character, it's going to get real fucking old.
I think 1E got away with it because you could actually make a character in like 10-15 minutes with that system, just so long as you knew what you were doing.
Well, also, the character sheet was literally like an index, so index card.
Very simple.
And it's like, well, I mean, if it dies, I can like re-roll it and do this shit in 15 minutes and be back into the game.
I know enough about 5e at this point to where I can pretty much make a character in 10-15 minutes. Well, not quite so much if you're making a spellcaster, but for the most part, it's not too bad. But it does take longer than a lot of other systems.
But here's the thing: I want to roll my stats. Like, I don't want to go with fucking the point buy or the what's it standard?
I never use point buy. I always roll. For me, it's way more fun.
Yeah, that's what I did with Gino. Gino was like, "Oh, there's a standard rate," and I'm like, "I'm leaving it all up to chance, bitch."
This character I'm playing right now, I didn't even choose the class. I rolled down the line to see what attributes he got, and then I rolled randomly for the race because honestly, I didn't have much of a preference.
And he became a dirty fucking elf, nasty
half
bitch.
Elf, technically.
Oh, so I'm thinking what is it called? Half-blood.
Yes, Mudblood. There we go.
Mudblood. Listen, I didn't want to make the Harry Potter shit, you know.
Well, I'll make it. Someone who's not exactly like a massive Harry Potter fan. Yeah, I'll make the Harry Potter reference.
I mean, I love the movies, not gonna lie. The books are good, and I do think actually, if you're wanting to do like here's the thing with the books: if you're actually wanting to like getting like a good example of how to do like mysteries in your stories, like because all the Harry Potters are mystery books, like disguised as these adventures.
Right.
Like, well, but I think it's pretty good to read them. Christian doesn't know what he's talking about. The books do have like dog shit, like anticlimactic conclusions. Every one of them.
My sister actually agrees with you there. She told me that the other night. I'm like, oh, you've just made a mortal enemy out of Kahuna.
Oh, so see, I wasn't talking out my ass or anything when I was talking about these books, man. Like every one of them. Like I said, literally, he can't refute it. When the final fucking fight between Harry and Voldemort is them talking in a circle and everyone's watching like it's a fucking fight, and then they shoot one spell and then Voldemort just falls over dead.
It's been so long since I've read the Harry Potter books.
That's how it is, and it's like every one of the books is like this. And the reason why it's disappointing is because she like does build up. Like the adventure, the mystery is fun.
Yeah. The build-up is good, it's just the payoff could be better.
Yeah, it's like she gets to it and she's like, oh fuck, I want to get this done. Like I don't want to do no action or fighting or anything. Fuck it. I want to make it as little as I can. Like I think
unfortunately
the movies...
a lot of novel writers are guilty of that, where it's like you get invested in the build-up and then the payoff is just like, oh, that's it. Like, I'm looking at you, Stephen King. You can be guilty of this sometimes.
But it's like a valid criticism I have of the books because, like I said, I didn't read them when I was a kid either. I read them in 2019 when I was 20 years old. So, just an idea of when I actually read these.
Oh, King Bob's just joined us in the chat. Hail, good sir.
Queen Bob.
Queen Bob.
Oh, here is your majesty.
Wrangler saying
Fucking.
JK doesn't do the most riveting combat scenes. I'll agree with that from what I've seen.
Um. Well, they end. There's nothing there. When I say like it's like a paragraph or two. It's the what is it? When Razor talked about Tolkien's writing, when Tolkien
Yeah, Tolkien is also guilty for it. As much as I love Tolkien as a writer, his combat is pretty bland.
well, like Razor's like, oh, Tolkien, we're gonna talk about the trees and the history of the trees and how great it is with the trees and how the characters relate with the trees. All right, some goblins show up. They beat them. Back to the trees, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
More trees.
that's exactly how it is. And it's like, come on, Tolkien, like, just give a little more for combat. I'm not saying you have to be like full on Conan with it, but give us a little more.
That's pretty much what Harry Potter is like. Oh yeah, all this.
It's not near as bad in The Hobbit. You notice it a lot more in Lord of the Rings, where I'm like, oh, why are the fights more boring than like the world building and just them exploring?
Well, keep in mind. Well, technically, the Hobbit's like fucking what 100 pages or
No,
something
no,
like
no.
that.
It's just shy of like 300. It's still a children's book, but it's pretty short, all things considered.
I thought it was shorter than that.
No, it's a bit longer. It's right under 300 pages.
All right, so that's about. That's actually only like a little bit longer than a lot of other children's
It's
books. To be
paced
honest.
really well, actually. There's a reason why a lot of people will say, yeah, The Hobbit is actually superior, just because of how well it's paced and everything.
Almost done. Right. And eventually got to read it as well.
It's a pretty quick and painless read, in my opinion.
Like I told you why I didn't ever read Lord of the Rings because it had the movie covers and shit.
Oh, I hate that shit. I absolutely hate that shit whenever they do it.
And I think I heard something about like the movies or whatever, like they weren't like direct one-to-ones with the thing. So for some reason I was thinking it was like a novel or adaptation of the movie version.
No.
So I ended up being like, you know what? I'm just not gonna bring it back and read if it's that.
It's
Of course I'm
weird
wrong.
because it's like certain parts of the movies, it's like line for line adaptation of the books, and then other bits there's entire like chapters and story arcs just completely cut out. It just depends.
Yeah, the I will say, objectively, from what I know, the movie was better only having it be like I think 6 months or a year or some shit.
There's certain improvements. There's a couple of things that the movie cuts out, and I think they were limited by time more than anything. But it does bug me, like the one everybody points out, the scouring of the Shire. I love that part in the book. I think it should have absolutely have been in the movie.
I think wasn't that just Peter Jackson not wanting to end the movies on that dire note or some shit?
It's like it makes sense. Like you can actually cut it out. It's just because it's like everybody just got back from Mountain Doom. Like it actually saved Middle Earth more or less, and then all of the hobbits find out that the Shire is just kind of like completely taken over by Saruman, and everything's kind of horrible until they fix it. It's limited to one chapter, but it's still pretty big. Like a lot does happen.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the whole plot point is that the hobbits will never go back to the way they were? Like they'll eventually have to leave.
That's the point. It's the point. Well, it's more like up until that point, the Shire's been isolated from the rest of the world. The scouring of the Shire is the hobbits actually learning that they're being affected too, to a certain extent. They can't go back to the way that they were, but everything kind of becomes reborn into a new kind of like golden age, I guess. I guess you could phrase it that way.
Well, wasn't the whole thing supposed to be the Rangers were watching over the Shire so no one can go in there and hurt them?
Wrangler's right. Where was Tom? Yeah, Tom Bombadil, I could kind of see why he wasn't in the movies. Uh, I mean, he is very lighthearted compared to a lot of
Yeah, but
Lord of the Rings.
they had well, what's his name? Pippin and
Mary.
the fucking name.
They're
Poor Mary.
they're actually more serious in the books. The movies make them a bit more slapstick.
Well, if they already are already going to have slapstick, I don't really see the point of not having Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, and it does fit, especially early
Yeah.
on in the book, because it's like they're actually going through the old forest and everything, which is completely cut from the movies. There's like the Barrow Whites, which is a really cool part of the book. They're actually like,
They had the forest in the movie, didn't they? 'Cause that's where Frodo and them first puts on the ring and stuff.
not to the same extent. There's that part, and then there's another part where it's just like Frodo and Sam before they meet Merry and Pippin, and they're actually having to like, they're basically taking the backdoor way out of the Shire, and they're going through the old woods, which are like, yeah, it's dangerous, but you're also being pursued by Nazgul. This is probably the best way to go, even in spite of there being rumors that this place is kind of cursed.
Okay.
And that's how they meet, like, Tom Bombadil. Like, I'll say this: have you seen the extended version of Lord of the Rings, where
Of course.
where Merry and Pippin are almost being swallowed by a tree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was originally a scene with Frodo and Sam when they went into the old forest. That's how they meet Tom Bombadil. He's the one who saves them.
Okay.
Yeah, he pretty much just comes prancing along. He's like, "Oh yeah, fuck off, tree. Go back to sleep."
Here's what we'll do eventually, Autumn. I'm gonna get a couple other of us, and I'm gonna do a first reread of Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings. We'll do like a review stream on it.
Yeah, I will say this: as much as I love Lord of the Rings, it's not the easiest read out there.
I can do it.
All right.
I can still handle it, even if I don't like it. I can still get through it.
I do still recommend it.
I listened to a shitty audio version of The Fourth Wing for 13 hours straight. Okay, I think I can make it through some old prose.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's just like old prose. Some of it comes down to the actual like. I would actually say it comes down to the pacing. The pacing early on can be a little on the slow side. It can actually throw you off guard.
Well, I mean, there's a fucking 25-year time skip in there.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. Like, them actually going through the forest at the beginning, that's also slower than you think as well. Because there's like whole elf characters that are cut in the movies. I'm trying to think what his name is.
Sir Elf Blackface?
No, I think his name is Thingol. I think that's his name. He's actually a
Thingol?
bro. He is not in the movies at all, but he is an absolute bro in the books. And they just kind of meet him at certain points throughout the trilogy.
You know, what's going to happen one day? It's going to be 30 years later. Hollywood has crashed, and then we got reborn, and it's no longer crazy. And then we'll get like another remake of Lord of the Rings. You know, they'll give it another try.
I mean, there's the possibility it could be better, but I'm not holding my breath.
I mean, you could if you got like the actual writers and stuff, and a good director, and they're actually wanting to do like a more accurate version. They could do it. Not nowadays.
The thing is, like, the movies aren't terribly inaccurate. It's just certain scenes where they go way off base.
Right, but if you're a fan of something, you would always want to see someone give a even more accurate version. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
Albeit, keep the change where Frodo's like 20 something.
There is.
I don't like it. I don't like the concept in the book of him being like the same age as Bilbo because it makes more sense for him to be. His whole thing is that he's not prepared for any of this.
There's a couple of bits in the movie that are made a bit more melodramatic that I don't like. Like the whole bit where it's like Frodo's telling Sam to go home, where it's like he's like blindly trusting Gollum at that point. That's something that the book never did. It's kind of more just for cheap drama in the movies.
But that's because in the movie, those potatoes weren't the best in the world. Yeah.
No, they really weren't the best potatoes.
And then Frodo just had to be really nice and tell him to fuck off. Gollum's rotting fish tasted better, at that point.
Yes.
Oh, Smeagol's. Oh, isn't that so? Is the twist in at the end the same in the book? Where the twist is, you think, all right, the first twist is, you think Frodo's going to be able to overcome the power of the ring and resist it?
That's the exact same in the book.
And then you're like, oh, but the power of friendship, that'll save them.
Nope.
Oh no, it's just they're both corrupted, him and Gollum, and they fight over it, and Gollum rips his fucking finger off.
Yeah, and it's still fucking great in the book. Like, it's showing kind of like how evil just has a power to naturally destroy itself.
Which, I mean, is like a really good writing, because it's two fucking twists, one after another.
Well, it's like Lord of the Rings is, the real genius behind it is, like, as much as it is, like, a straightforward, like, I guess you could call it heroic fantasy in a way, it's subverting a lot of, like, legend fantasy tropes. Like, instead of going to acquire, like, this grand magic item, they're trying to get rid of the fucking thing. They want nothing to do with it. It's just going to basically take over Middle-earth if they don't do something about it.
And I do like the ring is so corrupting that even if Gandalf got a hold of or took the ring for himself, I think Tolkien went, yeah, he would do like a lot of good stuff with it, but at like a horrible price.
Yeah.
Still
there's only one person in the books where it has no effect over them. And that's Tom Bombadil. He just picks it up. He's like, oh, this thing? Whatever.
That might be why he was cut. Because I think maybe Peter Jackson didn't want that. Like, he didn't want to underhand the storytelling of the ring being all corrupting and can corrupt anybody and anything,
Maybe.
So that might be why he was cut.
It's a possibility. I'm still a little doubtful on it, but it's possible. I remember seeing an interview where it's like, he's pretty much saying, yeah, it's even in the movie, it's still in there. It's just that story hasn't been directly told. I think that was kind of the reasoning he made for it.
What, that technically Tom Bombadil's still in the story, just didn't tell any of it?
Right, he just didn't. They honestly ran out of time. I think that was their excuse.
Well, that there's still cut scenes that are not in that, and that Peter Jackson was wanting to do even another extended cut.
Yeah.
And some of the scenes we know are true, like the last Alliance battle at the beginning. There's full-on scenes missing. Like, he had like the actual scenes of the Elf King getting killed and everything, and then fighting Sauron. And you can find like old photo shoots of that scene. There.
I think I'm getting hit by absolutely everything this guy has to throw at me.
But Warner Brothers is made of fucking retards.
Well, clearly.
It's like, all right, we already, we saw that people will buy the extended cut and they really love it. Hey, we can just, I don't know, get another extended cut and have another item that people will buy. No. We'll not do that. I know they're still working on the Harry Potter show. So I'm curious how that's going to work.
I am curious too.
I think it would be. I don't know about the the first two books. Maybe it can work. Because the thing is, the movies are actually quite accurate to the books. Like
Yeah.
there's some cut stuff, but not as much as you think. Like I think in the second book, they cut the Happy Death Day parts where uh the ghosts are celebrating their death day and shit, and they're
Oh
in like a
yeah.
ballroom. And that you also learn uh what's his name, the why am I blanking on his name? He's the janitor
I felt
of
it,
Hogwarts.
saw it.
I'm
The
forgetting his
storm
name
of her
too, off the
release.
top of my head.
The
Anyway.
red Sakema is free to
Filch.
mingle once more with the red
That's his
earth
name.
of her
Right.
birthplace.
Filch. That's right.
Deshret
His
was
whole
the howling
backstory is
wind,
he's a squib,
the
so
lash and
you know
bark
you
of
have
the driving dust. A wild mysterious
the
weakened by her
Muggle-borns, which
absence
is
so
your
long.
parents aren't wizards,
You've done
Yeah.
but you have wizard
out
powers.
in exile.
The squibs are you're
Right
born
is
into a
wrong
magical
that we
family, but
Mothercare
you don't have
have
magic
borne for
powers.
far too long.
Right.
You know, you're not a wizard.
Of course,
That's what he
as
is, and I
promised,
think Harry finds it out by like him Filch catching him and then putting him in his room, like his office room, and then he sees like an ad for like squibs.
Oh.
It's like oh, take this supplement and you'll become a wizard. It smells.
Yeah,
It's
let's
mainly like the
destroy that.
later movies that start cutting stuff.
you've done yourself proud.
It still has it, but cuts it.
Right. Right.
Also, the directors were weirdos, or not the director, the writer. You know why Hermione was like taking scenes from Ron from the books and giving it to her, and it's the fucking
Yeah.
weirdo. You go like to the interviews. I think it's the one writer. He was so fucking creepy with like his infatuation with the actress Emma Watson.
Yeah, that's more than a little creepy.
Like, go back and watch it, and it's like, yeah, I think there's something going on here. This
Yeah.
dude's creepy. You don't go,
Wouldn't be
oh, I
too
love
surprising.
Hermione and Emma Watson. She's so great and all this other stuff. And it's like, hey, boy, she's like 12 years old. Calm down.
Yeah. Yeah. A little creepy. Just a little.
I gotta remember or find out. It was like the interview in like the first two Harry Potter movies. It was, I don't know. Looking back on it, it's like she's creepy.
Right. Oh, time to get rid of some loot.
Yes?
Let's see.
Albeit,
Taurus
Harry-
and Vanya. What can you guys give
Harry
me?
Potter is a good example of like really good casting.
Oh yeah, for sure. I absolutely agree with that. I mean, the movies alone, just good casting, really good writing, kind of set them up for life.
And then the three dipshits squandered it.
Yep.
Like Daniel Radcliffe. He hasn't really done anything. He's done like random smaller movies.
Daniel Radcliffe has become such a fucking weirdo. It's actually kind of funny.
Like there was a movie where he played a dead corpse. Some shit.
Yeah, and I really don't understand. I actually watched part of that movie. It's a really fucking shit movie.
And then it was like there was gay undertones in the movie between them or whatever.
It's all over the place. Like, it's not even trying to be subtle about it.
I'm just, you know, I'll not watch it. Not gonna give a shit.
Wrangler's
What was
saying,
the other one?
What a bummer of a character, the janitor Filch.
In the movies?
I don't know.
Who said that?
That was Wrangler saying that.
I mean, his character is like very pissed off. I mean, you would be pissed off if you didn't have magic powers and you're having to see all these little fucking retarded kids using them. You know, I think you'd be pretty unhappy. You'd be like, oh, fuck it. Why did I get so unlucky, you know?
That's a fair interpretation of that.
He had his cat, Mrs. Norris.
That's all you need in life.
You know what? We might have to do like a short video of like an update of us apologizing to Mockingjay.
Just after reading Fourth Wing, right after Mockingjay. It's like we were shitting all over Mockingjay for its failings.
Yeah, it's like maybe we're I mean still shit.
It's still a bad
but
book.
I think we were a little too harsh on this one, you know?
Right.
Like we read something way worse.
Bye.
Look, Frequency is going to be like, no. Fourth Wing was amazing. Best book I ever read.
Absolute top tier. Yeah, I'm just being mean at this point. Greg was also saying Filch has got to push a broom while any first year could clean up the messes with the flick of a wand. You know, that's actually a really fair point. That I would be mad too.
Like, and keep in mind, like Hagrid was expelled, and he's technically not allowed to have a wand and use magic. Even Hagrid still can use it. He's like, all right, I can't tell the Ministry about this shit. You know?
Oh, great! This is a full-on gladiator battle.
Which is so funny because the actor played Walter Frey and Game of Thrones.
I know.
Well.
It was really weird watching him go from Filch to that. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's like
completely like he's still bitter, but just a hell of a lot worse.
Well, he's bitter and he's very conniving, you know, like he is in the books and stuff, and like doesn't give a fuck. Like his wife is like 20-something years old. It's like his 7th wife.
Yeah.
The other ones he like just fucked. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
What's the level here? 37. Oh, it's same level.
It's so funny because if they're doing like one story of the Duncan Egg, you will see little 9-month or 1 to 9 months to like 1-year-old Walter Frey in the story.
Yeah.
Because that's how old he is in the fucking book. That like a story that takes place 100 years before he's actually still alive, still there.
Yeah, I only know so much about Duncan Egg, but from what I've heard from you, it's a lot more of a hero story. I do like that you have that as a bit more of a point of contrast to Song of Ice and Fire, where it's just a lot of morally gray stuff.
There's still like a Song of Ice and Fire stuff in it. Like you're still gonna have like fucked up shit,
right?
But it is like a self-contained. Not well. It's a novella story.
Right.
These little 100-page
he's
story.
Going for more of like a tighter pace, a bit more action focus. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Like plot focus, yes.
Right.
And some character stuff. I recommend for anyone to read it. Like even if you don't care about A Song of Ice and Fire, like Duncan Egg is still worth it, and not that long of a story. Like all 3 stories are, I think, 300-some pages long.
Yeah.
And Dunk is an actual good person. It's not evil. It's not morally gray.
That's no fun. You gotta have moral relativity wherever you go. There can be no variance there whatsoever.
Matter of fact, Dunk was such a good influence on Egg. Because Egg's a Targaryen. He doesn't marry his sister.
I mean, that's a plus.
Mainly because I think it's a little bit subtle. Like you can very much see that, like the influence of like Dunk being like, yeah, it's kind of nasty.
Yeah.
And they going, you know what? I believe that too. So I'll marry this other woman, which does bat him in the ass later on. But matter of fact, so Egg is the reason that all the Baratheons were born.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because his son, if I remember correctly, his son it was supposed to marry the Baratheon daughter, but his son said, "Hey, you didn't marry the woman you were supposed to marry, so fuck you. I'm gonna go marry this other woman." Can't tell me what to do, Dad.
It's not a phase, Dad.
And the Lionel Baratheon was like, "Hey, motherfuckers, you better I'm gonna fucking like kill your ass." Like, you broke the pack, you know.
What's being said in the chat? Wrangler saying Trump for Prime Minister of Magic. You know, that could make for some very entertaining stories.
Yeah, we might have to write like a short story of that.
It's a really good story idea.
So vast, so large is our wall.
Just look at our Prime Ministry of Magic. Like, you can't even see the end of it. Place is so vast, so many twists and turns. Oh, Sleepy Joe will fall asleep while trying to go through it all.
Well, it wouldn't be Sleepy Joe, it'd be Sleepy Voldemort. He has no nose. He looks like a snake.
So sad.
Father didn't love him. His brother didn't love him. That'd be a fucking great fucking like TV show, like Donald Trump, Ministry of Magic, and he's like dealing with the events of Harry Potter.
That would be really funny, actually. These particle effects are just determined to destroy everything on screen.
The story that I fucked McGonagall is fake news. Fake news.
Fake news. I did not do it with a porn star. That's right, McGonagall, totally not for me.
Oh man. Did you ever watch the interview where when the woman who played McGonagall, like she was talking about like little kids,
Oh, what was she saying?
like singer? Yeah, little kid singer. They're talking to her as she is McGonagall.
Oh.
She's like, wow.
He's like, well, this is a little surreal.
Yeah. So now you got to keep in character, bitch. Don't destroy that child's hopes and dreams.
I'm just standing in one place at this point. These guys are just coming to me. Is that all of you guys?
Oh, and they're
Almost.
doing another Percy Jackson shit.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
They're doing like another movie. The fucking like author's like full woke shit, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because I think they're race swapping the what's her name? It's been so long since I've read the book, but the Athena daughter,
Yeah.
making her black. And then the author was trying to like gaslight people and saying, no, this is
No.
great.
She was always black.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
You know, she was.
What are you, a racist?
It was the same thing with once again, people who with J.K. Rowling. Remember, she is like this. She still is a woke leftist.
Oh, yeah. It's just, ever since the left tried canceling her, I think a lot of people got more sympathetic. I don't think all of it was justified. It's like, yeah, she shouldn't be canceled, but, like, if the tables were turned, she would absolutely be canceling you.
Right, and like, what was it? Do you remember the? It's technically the 8th book, but it was the play.
Yeah, I was given that book as a gift, and I immediately sold it. I wanted nothing to do with it.
You should have read it.
Oh god,
dude!
It's a
script.
Script. It's not even a prose novel.
Yes, dude, it was so bad that like hardcore Harry Potter fans were like, "This is garbage."
Well, it's like they're introducing time travel and shit too.
Well, I mean, time travel was already in the series, but
No,
they like
but I mean, like they're doing like hardcore retcons and shit.
Yeah, and then they So the whole thing is that the little kid, at the end of the Harry Potter,
Yeah.
his like what is it, his second son or whatever. There's like they're doing like a gay fucking story between him and like Draco Malfoy's son,
So dumb. So
and then they're like,
dumb.
oh, and evidently Voldemort fucked Bellatrix Lestrange and had a daughter. Just in between book like fucking. I think he was trying to say like in between book 6 and 7.
I've always heard that the book was like bad fan fiction. It sounds like it pretty much to a T.
And then there's a timeline where Snape actually banged Harry's mother.
So stupid.
Like they actually were in a relationship or some shit, and it's like, what the fuck? Oh, and like I said, it's time skips and everything, and I don't mean time travel, but like time skips,
Right.
where they're going through like the years of these two different characters. Oh, and Hermione just gets turned into a black woman,
Well, obviously.
and I love how people are like, well, she's not really described too much in the books. I'm like, well, I don't know. How about the cover art of her being white as fuck? Or, the casting in the movie where she's uber white.
Yeah.
But sure, she was always black, guys. Always black. Hermione Granger. That's a real black name there, if I've ever heard one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hello.
I always love bringing it up, but when J.K. Rowling, when she was doing the Twitter post of what the fuck, why would I need to know this? And she was talking about she had. By the way, they go after J.K. Rowling over the goblins and saying those are Jews.
Yeah.
Shows once again their racism. They like money and they have big noses. Obviously, it's for Jews.
I do remember that in the Deathly Hallows. It's like it's not even trying to hide like the whole Nazi metaphor.
Well, meaning them saying that the goblins are 100% Jew stereotypes or whatever.
Wrangler
And it's
saying,
like,
I thought
no.
they would have made Ron black. After all, he's a ginger and Hollywood hates gingers. You've got a point, Wrangler.
Well, you still have the TV show that will be coming out next year or some shit.
I think Wrangler might have just predicted the future. He didn't even know it.
They'll make Ron a black person and 100% make him a stoner. No stereotypes, of course. No stereotypes.
And just to really hammer home the fact, they're gonna have his theme have like intermixed hip hop in there. Yeah,
my God.
just to really like check off all those DEI boxes.
The fucking dude, they're doing it all the time. So you remember Redfall?
Yep. Oh
Remember
god,
the
that
theme
fucking
for
game.
that? I was talking with Tenkage about that because we're gonna do with James and stuff. We're gonna do like a horror game stream one day.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about it and shit. So it made me think of Redfall because the funny part about that is, so when we were watching, it started the Let's Mock streams from Razer.
Yeah, and it was like that and Starfield. He had like Let's Mock streams for, which both of those games completely deserved it.
So the funny thing with that, with the quote unquote experience with that was, remember I was watching it on Xbox, all right, on my Xbox YouTube app. Well, the game is broken, piece of shit. Well, guess what? The fucking the Xbox YouTube app was also glitching as well, in which it was playing audio from 5 minutes ago, which was not matching up with the visuals of the live stream. Very good. And I'm like, what fucking irony? Like an Xbox exclusive that's a broken piece of shit, and I'm watching a stream making fun of it, and the fucking stream is glitching
Right.
on YouTube.
No, that happened to me too whenever I tried watching that stream. I was like, is it just me? No. Everybody's experiencing that. Oh.
Here's the thing, it was fine on my phone, but it was specifically the Xbox app. It's like, what is going on? And also, it's just ironic. The fucking broken bug fucking game on Xbox exclusive is fucking broken.
Yeah,
On a stream on YouTube on the Xbox console.
that was the Arcane game that nobody could defend, by the way. It's like so
Dude,
many of their games, it's like you have diehard like Arcane fans saying like, well, it was actually really good, you just didn't get it. It's like Redfall and Deathloop. No, you couldn't really deny it.
Deathloop, there are people who defend it. I will say that.
Then Redfall came out.
Yeah, after well, I mean they couldn't. Like it was so objectively bad that there's no way you can defend it. Because they defended Dishonored and Dishonored 2.
I do not like Dishonored all that much. I don't hate it, but I was disappointed whenever I played what I did of it. I actually got bored with the game after a few hours.
So, you know, I love BioShock, but
Yeah.
I hate games using its art style.
I do too, honestly. It gets old.
Like, I only
really quick.
like it. Yeah, like, I only like it when BioShock team did it. Like, anyone else, I'm like, for one, like, there was a time and period where everyone was kind of, like, doing that art style. It's getting
Right, and it just looks bad, in my opinion.
Oh, I can get some people. So the third BioShock game is not great. However, I still did like it.
I actually really enjoyed it up until a point where I just stopped playing it, and I left it for several years. And I still remember having fun with the game. It's just the more I think about the story, the more I'm like, what the fuck was the story?
Time travel multiverse. Two people that are both they're technically not brother and sister.
See you, Wrangler. Have a good night.
Yeah, they're the same person, and they're also trying to fuck each other and have a child.
Yeah.
You remember what I'm talking about? They're not actually twins, but they're the same person, just gender swapped from different timelines.
Right. Then there's also the whole twist with, spoiler alert for Bioshock Infinite for a 10-plus-year-old game. Comstock is actually the main character, Booker DeWitt, just in an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense how he's supposed to be you, and by going into the past, you end up killing him. It makes zero sense. Even by the game's own logic, it's just confusing.
You know what I did like in the game?
What's that?
Where you actually get to see the resistance win, and you find out that they're actually like horrible people as well.
The twist is they're no better than the people they were fighting before.
Yeah, like the full-on leader and everything is like a full, like murderous genocide bitch bastard.
Yeah.
What's her name? I forgot. It's the Fox group. They're supposed to be the Irish and Black teaming up to take on.
Right. And it's like that was also kind of done in a time before like games got super woke, so they could kind of get away with it at the time, like having it be like very obvious like racism parallels. And
it wasn't just one race. It was including other ones. It wasn't just black people oppressed.
Right.
It's also like
also
Irish.
It also wasn't the focus of the entire game.
Yes. And then, I mean, I did like how Elizabeth interacted with you during the gameplay, with her throwing you potions and all the other stuff and ammo.
Yeah, I mean, she was basically, like, mechanically speaking, she was basically a safety net for the player, so that the player didn't fuck themselves over completely all the time. But, I mean, like, story-wise, I still enjoyed it.
I need to replay that someday. But the ending was fucking retarded. To fix the timeline, you have multiverse Elizabeth fucking drown your ass.
It's stupid. It makes zero sense.
She's like, oh, you're always going to become Comstock. And it's like, so you should die, you know?
Well, it also kind of destroys the whole alternate universe narrative right then and there.
Didn't the DLC fucking retcon that shit? Because you go to Repton.
I think so.
But Repton and then Elizabeth is there. Who she did look good in that fucking DLC where she's like the noir.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I want to see more comics with that the noir hot lady shit. I think enough do
The
it.
femme fatale.
Have you seen her in that game? Her costume and stuff?
Yeah, I've seen it. She has
Right.
a bit more of kind of like mascara over her face. She has this kind of like suave type look while she's having a cigarette lit for her. While
Not
it's
just
kinda
a
like
cigarette. A cigarette with the cigarette holder.
Yes.
Little pin holder. That's what we need. Matter of fact, that was my favorite skin in the Resident Evil 2 remake for Leon and Claire, was like the detective outfit.
Yeah. Also, I ended up getting a few weeks ago. It was like a book collection of a lot of. It was a lot of Raymond Chandler novels. I actually need to get into those. I really want to read them.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Come on.
Now I gotta start reading some older stuff. Wow.
I mean, it is good for helping you to find your own voice as a writer. I will say that much. Very good for that.
Like I said, I'm gonna have Sybil's gonna have to really help me with that. When I eventually start writing that shit. Just fuck it, I am gonna do multiple POVs. Gotta learn it eventually.
Yeah, it's a good skill to learn. I'm not of the school of thought where it's like you have to have like your first book only be from one POV. I'm like, I think that's kind of a dumb argument to make. That really limits the type of story you can do. But it's like, at the same time, it's important to learn that distinctive character voice.
Well, I mean, the whole thought was to have it be. When I say multiple POVs, I'm talking like just 4. Not
Right.
anymore. I'm not going like crazy with 7 or some shit.
Well, I think even mine. I'm trying to remember the max amount of character perspectives I go. I think it's 4. I think.
Yeah. Albeit I'll be writing in third person limited.
Yeah. Well, that's
Mainly
whenever
'cause-
different POVs like become even more important. It's like even with Omniscient, you got to keep it in mind, but limited, you especially have to make sure that you're kind of like keeping character voice consistent and everything.
Yeah, I got no problem with Omniscient. I just personally I like third person limited.
Oh, is my mic too low, King Bob? I can turn it up. 1 second.
And now you're loud as fuck, you little bitch.
How's that? How does that sound?
Who was he saying was low? Did you even check?
I'm comfortably in the yellow right now, so I think that's pretty good. If I get really close to my mic, I'm a bit louder, but I think this is pretty good right now. So,
Are you sure he was saying your mic, not mine?
you need to turn up your mic, Otter. You're quiet, but Billy Bob is loud.
That's right, bitch. It's all you, not me.
Yeah. It's always my fault. Can never be anything else. Not at all.
Eventually, I will get like an actual proper mic.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just using the phone.
I've had to gradually turn up my mic more and more, just over time.
You know, I do got a question. How different do I sound in person versus on here?
That's about the same, honestly.
Is it?
Yeah. I hear my voice on stream or on a video. I'm like, wait, that's how I actually sound? It's completely different.
Well, no, I'm just asking because, like, I mean, I got okay mics.
No, your mic sounds good enough, actually. You'd be surprised how far you can go with a phone and microphone.
Not a cockroach? Victorio Navalius, the people's poet of Sam. He was my friend, and I betrayed him.
Oh, Lady Diala going off on one grand monologue.
Now I am betrayed. My
King Bob
heart
says,
was
Mike is
black
much
by
better,
the
about
moonlight.
100% more gay. Well, fuck you too, King Bob.
He's found a new heart.
Well, yeah, it's just his natural state of being, Gina.
Oh.
Gino says that, and then you end up getting him into a one-shot, and you end up murdering him. For no reason at all.
Malachi's devices.
Listen, you just don't want it to be, you want it to be more deadly than 5e. No coincidence that a rock just fell out of the sky and hit him,
No
He
coincidence.
betrayed me then. Said he loved me. Then said he wanted me to die. He betrays me now.
Oh my god, this gun sucks.
Let me
Is
suffer.
this another boss fight?
Let me wither. Am I the one and only mistake that you ever
Oh, that's
made?
why this gun sucks. I didn't put no mods on it.
Yes.
Ah,
That's me.
fuck it.
Oh, King Bob was saying you sound 100% more gay in real life. He says that was about how different Billy Bob sounds in real life. But he was also saying for me that works too.
Well, I mean, it's definitely Otter,
Well, clearly.
He looks
There's
more
no
gay in real
projection
life.
here whatsoever. Also, I'm in Lovecraft land.
He looks more gay in real life,
Make Lovecraft, not war.
Frederick had his little cowboy hat. You gotta make fun of that.
Oh, hey. I'm basically fighting Driders now.
Oh shit, I forgot to doing it.
What is the
Yeah, I just
level
love
of
how
this
this
place?
the one chick. I think she's supposed to be more of a doctor character, but her abilities are really not reflective of that.
Yeah.
Like your abilities are like the frenzy or whatever, so your hair turns white and shit.
How was it the mines that I ended up going through before were a lot tougher than what I have been fighting? I fought a literal demigod right after, and he wasn't quite as tough.
Oh, was it? I watched a review on that Flintlock game. Do you remember that?
I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, and how woke it was.
Oh, yeah.
The story is literally about you killing gods. So it's another like fucking cringy ass like atheist story.
Yeah.
And somehow you're killing gods, but can't kill a normal enemy. So what?
Wait, you can't kill a normal enemy?
No, they're really normal, like these normal enemies. You're fighting them, but then you're fighting, I don't know, literally a god.
The fuck?
Yes. And of course, the Sweet Baby Inc. also consulted with the game. And
Oh,
I think
clearly.
turned the character into a ugly fucking black chick. She was white before. Oh boy.
It's like, if you're gonna race swap a character, at least make them attractive, please. I don't know, that's something at least.
I know they were really upset with the first Ascendant, which is a fucking South Korean game, so of course everyone looks like star-studded metal.
I'm noticing a trend with a lot of South Korean games lately, where it's just a tendency to have a lot of TNA. I'm not complaining.
Well, because they have like very high, like certain beauty standards in their media, anyways. I mean, K-pop. You've
Yeah.
seen K-pop people.
Oh yeah, it's like insanely high beauty standards.
Listen, your sister should know about this.
I know a little bit about it myself, even though I don't listen to K-pop.
I don't listen to it either, but who shared the meme of North Korea listening to a K-pop band, like the reaction.
Oh, really?
There was a meme. I think Frederick or someone, or Frederick Stormcrow posted it. I think I know what meme, by the way, that was it the meme of you were talking about Stormcrow sharing like some borderline, spicy memes, I guess.
I don't think it was that specifically.
Well, there was one. Was it the one where it was Miss Nagatoro and the chick from My Dress Up Darling? Where's the donut?
Maybe. I
Where
don't.
it's the
I
it's
don't
the pink.
immediately remember it.
It's the picture of them both in like bikinis, and the Miss Nagatoro is the pink, the center pink donut with like brown on the outsides, and then the My Dress Up Darling one is just a straight pink one.
Oh boy, just
Was
no
that the one?
subtlety at all. Maybe I don't immediately remember.
Because that was the one I think Sybil shared before. It's fucking
It's
hilarious.
pretty funny.
I only got to do this 3 more times. Yeah, about to get it.
The grind is real.
Yes. And I'm going to start saving up shit because when the first season starts, I'll have all the shit to max out the other character I'm going to get.
The trailer with the ass really set your wallet open.
Dude, it was just so funny. Like literally the first 1 to
First
5
3
seconds.
seconds. Like, somebody actually time-stamped it. It was like 3 seconds in.
It starts with the new character they're adding, this ice chick, with her dusting off snow off her ass, albeit there wasn't actually snow and she's just slapping her ass. Ew.
Oh, hey, we're in alien xenomorph territory.
Sounds cozy.
Hey, come back here.
Matter of fact, we might need to get some more Gremlin clips. Gremlin 2 is still one of the... I love it more than the first one.
It's been so long since I've seen Gremlins 1. Or, no, not Gremlins 1. Gremlins 2.
You gotta rewatch it.
I think I watched it when I was like 11 or 12 years old. And you can't ever forget the Mogwai, the Lady Mogwai. It's too iconic. Like, even back then I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
the fucking main story of that is so fucking hilarious. So like it's doing tropes, but not like committing to them. Like the big businessman, he's actually not like a super evil douchebag. And like the movie ends with him basically giving the one dude a new big job and promotion, like the main character.
Yeah.
Like he's actually I don't know. He's not being a scummy douchebag.
Right.
And also the female Mogwai molests the fucking like head of security dude throughout the movie.
Her method of attack is just kissing without stopping, from what I remember.
Yes, she also forces marriage.
Yeah, I remember that. It's like a wedding scene, like the very last moment of the movie.
Yeah, and the fucking dude's reaction is just hilarious. She's just like, all right, fuck it. Fuck it. I'll just do it, you know?
Might as well.
God, I love Gremlins too.
It's a fun movie. At least from what I remember.
I just love that the movie, I think, was PG or PG, or no, or rated G or PG. I can't remember what it was. So technically, I was able to bring it into school during like when they were doing like bring movies to watch and people vote on.
I always thought it was funny that one of the movies we got to watch in public school was Crocodile Dundee. Do you remember some of the scenes in that fucking movie?
It's been so long since I watched it. I know the knife scene, of course.
There's also the scene where the love interest is just straight up showing her ass, and it's like, it's not even trying to hide it. Our teacher back then, it was like she wasn't like fast forwarding it or anything, so all of us were just kind of like laughing or staring, one or the other.
You know, I've seen way worse.
Yeah, but in a school setting, you know, like
I mean,
I remember like trying to take a movie to school and just having like them saying "damn." It's like, oh, that's enough cause to not play it. It's like, oh.
Yeah, ours didn't care about that.
School I went to, it was like any bit of bad language. That was proper grounds not to actually show the movie.
Oh, we fucking played Indiana Jones, which has blood cussing, other shit in it.
Faces melting.
Yeah. It's like, it's rated G. Y'all said that the rating has to be G or PG.
I like how much Indiana Jones, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, got away with. Because it's like, by today's standards, it would be straight up rated R.
Yes. It'd be a soft R or a PG.
Maybe PG-13.
I'd say PG-13. Well, no.
It straddles that line, doesn't it?
Well, it's because like the gore, like the dude's face melting off, and I'm like, that might actually be what gets it a soft rating of R.
The first two Indiana Jones movies are very pulpy in a very good way, in my opinion. Like, Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom, it's like, those movies are rated PG, and they're like, what, faces melting, like, ripping out hearts and shit. Like, satanic rituals.
Oh, yeah, Kathleen Kennedy doesn't even know. By the way, she was a producer on that movie. Didn't even know that fucking Indiana Jones, the second one, is a prequel. It's not a sequel.
Yeah, it's straight up a prequel.
It's like, how do you fucking not know that? You handled finances and shit on the movie.
She's just looking for a payday, you know?
You gotta know that. But the funniest thing was in school. So they were doing like the Halloween outfits and shit. And this was during like the economics class thing.
Yeah.
The fucking girl who walked past us, she was wearing black leggings. Everyone could see the fucking G-string.
Oh.
She was wearing the whole
obviously.
Dude, every dude in the classroom, when she walked by, everyone fucking turned their heads at once looking at it.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, everyone noticed it.
Did the teacher do anything about it or no?
No.
Oh, well, obviously.
You were paying attention. I'm like everyone else fucking saw it. Walked past twice.
What the fuck is this thing? It's just like it has like, what is this attack? It's like explosive blood diarrhea or something.
What?
I'm fighting like Lovecraftian horrors here, and this thing was just grunting as it was like, had like explosive diarrhea. That was its attack.
Sounds about right.
I'm also going through like meat caverns.
It's after Taco Tuesday, of course.
Yeah, it just had a full meal at Taco Bell. Got one of the box meals. Didn't sit too well.
Yeah, he blew out the toilet, you know. So, it's quite a crime and a travesty.
Pretty explosive.
Albeit, what was? I think the one school I was in, the clothing regulations were you weren't allowed to wear gym shorts. Like only if you're in like the basketball or football team, I think, was the only ones who were able to.
Yeah.
Made fine. I think it was what with the spaghetti string on tank tops or whatever.
Yeah, I remember my school was pretty strict about the whole spaghetti string thing. I remember that much.
Which I don't remember why.
I forget as well. I'm like, I understand like low cut tops and shit, but I'm like, spaghetti string? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm like tank top. I don't know.
I don't know. It didn't make a whole lot of sense.
He said because we fucking want it, bitch.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
But then again, the fucking one school had a no tolerance policy or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And if you broke up a fight, you were also going to get expelled.
Oh, yeah, that bullshit.
I don't remember if East Tennessee had it, but fucking Middle Tennessee did.
It depended on the school. It actually depended on the county. Because in elementary school, that was like elementary school and where I went to more of like rural, like middle school. No, that was not the case. Once I moved to a different county, like the junior high school I went to there, they were liberal as fuck in some ways. Yeah, they had that rule. So it was like the teachers couldn't even break up fights. So it was like,
yeah,
one was like an actual fight where a guy was actually like getting pretty much like his face just like straight up like into a bleacher. And so it was like their solution was just trying to talk the other guy down while it's happening. And I'm like, what the fuck?
why he's bouncing the other dude's head
Yeah,
off
while that's happening. I'm like, yeah, or you could, like break up the fight,
Dude, so it was so funny. It was the art teacher. These two dudes got into it, and they didn't know how to fight. So it was just wild swinging,
Yeah.
But it was so funny that she was trying to break it up, and then she was fucking screaming at everyone because they weren't jumping in to help her.
Oh.
It's like, hey, bitch, you know that rule where we get in trouble as well? Well, of course we're not going to help you. If we didn't have that stupid fucking rule, other people can stop in or get in and fucking break them up,
Yeah, there might be a change there. Wonder of wonders.
But instead, we're going to threaten you that you get expelled and shit. Well, not expelled, but you're going to get out of school suspension.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So stupid. Come on, I want to carry that. Let me carry it.
I wonder if they still have that ruling. I wonder if they fucking finally wised up and got rid of it.
I don't know. I think they could have gone either way on it. It's a gamble as far as I'm concerned.
A gamble for your life?
A gamble for your life? It's actually not as good as what I have. Dude,
it's gonna be so when the Indiana Jones comes out, I think I'm gonna take my Xbox over to my grandmother's and then watch her see how bad the story is and shit.
We should do like an actual live stream of that just to see how bad it gets.
Well, it's supposed to come out this year, I think. Next week, I think we'll be possibly finding out when the release date because the Gamescom with Xbox.
Yeah.
Unless it got delayed, which I actually wouldn't be surprised if it does. I think most of their games are getting delayed.
It doesn't surprise me.
Like, I think Dragon Age 4 still doesn't have a release date.
I'm just waiting for that game to come out just so I can make fun of it, honestly.
That's what I'm waiting on as well.
Like, I haven't really had high hopes for that game since the beginning, but then I actually saw the gameplay. I went, oh, this is so much worse.
Dude, So there's a Baldur's Gate 3 channel, Wolf Hearts. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I know about the channel. Wolfhard FPS, I think that's his name.
Yeah, and he's full on like so excited for Dragon Age 4 and everything. He's doing videos and everything. I'm like,
Is he saying shit like it might even be good as Baldur's Gate 3?
I don't know about that.
Okay, I
But
was
he's
wondering
definitely
how hard he was gonna be simping for it.
But he's not calling it out. And like, remember he was kind of downplaying how bad that fucking first reveal trailer.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, all I needed to see was the gameplay, and I went, yeah, this is... Well, for one, this is not even Dragon Age 2. This is not for me. This does not look good.
One more time.
One
I got
more.
one more catalyzation slot. And I am free. Free. Well, not really, because I gotta do that one fucking weapon.
Oh.
But then I have the build done. And then go on to greener pastures.
Greener pastures.
Ready?
Come back here, sharp face. There
No,
we
like
go.
Gonna be a fun time with that Dragon Age 4.
I really want to stream it just to make fun of it, because well, not Dragon Age 4, but the Indiana Jones game. If Dragon Age 4 is on Game Pass, sure, I'll stream it, just to laugh. It could be fun.
I don't have the ability to stream, but I'll definitely be playing it because it's gonna be on Game Pass. I pay for it, so
Yeah,
not really gonna be losing any money on it.
I'm fighting Piety again? Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh my god. Right into it. Damn, why are you doing this?
And of course, Avowed will be February next year.
Oh, that's why. I'm out of... Oh, fuck.
You remember Avowed, don't you? I remember.
I remember.
Which it turns out it's a semi-open world. It's gonna be fucking Outer Worlds. So I already know I'm actually not gonna like the game.
Yeah, I highly doubt I'm gonna like it.
Like, just telling me it's basically Outer Worlds fantasy, and I'm like, I fucking hated Outer Worlds.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Get me out of this. Die, 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 die. Finally. Oh, and I immediately died as well. I don't know how I died, I think I bled out on the spot right after I killed her.
Well, you know, your AIDS that you got from all that gay butt sex finally caught up with you.
Fucking AIDS.
Oh, man. I still got to get my final disc of Yusuri.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I might eventually wait and maybe until it's on sale.
King Bob's comment during that fight was, your mom doesn't look good. She's not my mom, King Bob, alright? She was just my last squeeze.
Wait, what?
No. Piety is a major character in this game. This is like the second time you fight her.
You're saying you're fucking your mom. I mean, that's
No.
pretty fucked up, Otter. I'm not gonna lie.
You motherfucker.
Well, I mean, that's what you're saying that you're doing, so you know.
Neither unreachable nor invulnerable. He sacrificed much to become the beast's prime servant, both in
I
spirit
got my
and
python gun.
three vital
Yes.
organs remain.
Now to
His
keep
heart,
crafting the other
lungs,
4
and
so I can make it
Keepsakes
unique
of
ability.
humanity lost. They will be our tickets into Malachi's private little show. Venture deeper, deep into Nightmare's abattoir.
And I'll get
follow
into the
when I'm
black
able.
core.
You find me those organs, and I'll get us into them.
The Godless Three, what
Malachi
are
chose
these?
his 3 most loyal servants to guard those precious innards. His godless 3. Inquisitor Malagaro, Chevron of Umbra.
There's a lot
and
to this
Dowager
act, a
Dark.
lot of fighting.
If the history books are accurate, High Templar Vol burned Malagaro and Doedri at the stake on his way to lay siege to Sarn.
At this point, I'm
He
basically
didn't have to
fighting
worry
demigods.
himself with Chevron. Brutus had already sorted her out.
At least it
Yet
isn't
slaves
demi
of
horrors.
Nightmare seem to be shackled
Well,
just as
that's
tightly to
later.
life as they are to the beast.
The game will
I, of
eventually have
course,
us
am
fight
living
demi
proof
whores.
of that.
It's only a matter
Don't
of
worry
time.
yourself with that little detail, though. Shackles are made.
No, not enhance unique ability. Weapon readjustment, which makes everyone broke in this game. It's actually okay. Lock this one. Do it live. Do it again.
Don't worry, my own character. We've already killed Piety twice.
Alright, I'm keeping these rolls. I'm not re-rolling it. These are actually pretty good. I'm gonna keep...
Oh my
Keep
god. This is the first fight out of the boss arena. Jesus Christ. There we go.
Um... Hold up. Okay. Alrighty. I can start doing levels on this one.
Oh yeah. And thanks everybody for joining us in the chat tonight. We really appreciate it. We're just kind of fucking around, honestly. I'm just casually getting my ass handed to me by a bunch of demons. As you do.
And I'm just casually looking at a lot of ass. Wow. Grinding levels, you know?
Never a bad use of time.
Hold up. Be right back.
Alright. Getting quite a bit of good loot here.
And then you're gonna get kicked in the balls when you're like, oh yeah, I got no storage space.
King Bob saying, I am the chat and I'm kind of watching you and getting drunk. Sounds like a fun time.
What was it, Gino? Didn't you say you got drunk or drunk beer for the first time like 2 years ago now?
Before we walk this path together, it's important that you understand one thing about me. I don't regret a single thing that I've done. I set out to raise humanity up from the cloying mud of its
He
fleshly ignorance.
hasn't said anything
My
yet.
mistake was not in the aspiration.
If I remember correctly, he said
Now I intend to correct that.
he never drunk a
Really,
beer.
I'm not
It wasn't
helping
until
you,
I think
Exile.
2 or 3 years
You're
ago.
helping me. So, have you found those juicy organs for
Think
me
so.
yet?
Great, I'm having to find a bunch of god organs.
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was what?
Sounded like a train, but it was a harmonica.
Oh.
Oh, Frequency sent me a video saying Batman's contingency plans star Ron.
Oh.
So anyways, he died
Anyways.
because he tried to fuck with Sauron. How to defeat Sauron? Take his ring away and then convince a bunch of degenerate fucks that it's the almighty cock ring. Yeah.
Yes. That's right. Go on
What
a
do you-
rampage.
So when do you think we're getting the next remaster of Skyrim?
Give it another couple years at most. Bethesda will pull through. Bethesda's never done anything wrong in the past.
The only funny part that they did that actually did make me laugh was Skyrim on your refrigerator. Remember that?
Actually, I don't remember that.
They did like a joke commercial because this was for the anniversary edition.
Oh, okay, so they were just making fun of the fact that they've re-released Skyrim for fucking everything now.
Yeah, and they were like, now you can play it on your fucking refrigerator.
Okay, that's pretty funny. I'll give them that.
So you think it's funny now, but that's what they're planning for in the future.
Then you realize they're serious. Oh.
Well, do you remember because Xbox for the Xbox Series X, they had a refrigerator version of it that you could buy or I think win. You don't remember that either?
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, it was an Xbox Series X refrigerator, like a full size big ass refrigerator.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
But then again, it isn't as stupid as when Sony used to have a lot of gimmick devices and shit.
Right.
I don't know if you remember the remote controller.
I can't say I do.
It had the PlayStation buttons and everything on it. The
Yeah.
only thing it was, I think, technically was the joystick. But you could use it for on your PlayStation console, like PS2 and PS3.
Mm-hmm.
Really stupid.
On this day, the eve of this rapture's completion, I honor those who have passed.
But then again, this is still when controllers had
us to the brink of
wires.
Right.
Inquisitor Mulligan, a creative force without you.
By the way, controllers are fucking expensive. They've always been.
They've always been expensive. If you know where to look, they can get really, really cheap. Like, it's weird. Like, a Nintendo Switch controller anymore will amount to $70 fucking dollars. But
Yes, that's what Xbox and PlayStation amounts to.
if you know where to get them online, an Xbox controller, I can get one for like $20 and have it be pretty good quality.
Malachi knew exactly what he
I
was
just know
doing
when
when he
I-
created the Rapture. His private
They're also shittier controllers, by the way, as well. They break really fucking quick.
Yeah.
PS2 didn't. Even your original Xbox and Xbox 360, those were actually good controllers. They lasted quite a while.
Right, right.
Xbox One, I've went through since I got it in like 2015. I've already went through like 4 or 5 controllers.
Jeez, man.
It's always the thumbstick rubs off, and then it gets stick drift and shit.
Oh yeah, that bullshit.
Or I had one. Actually, do not know what happened. So the controller, the RB button wouldn't work. I had to blow into it like a fucking, like your old Game Boy cartridges and shit to get it to work. I literally showed it. I was like, click, click. Oh yeah, it's not working. Here, watch this. And then click it again and it starts working. Because I don't know if it was what was going on with it, why it was doing that. It made no sense.
Not sure.
If you did the cartridge trick, it worked.
Come on, we can get this guy. Just spam attack.
I'm just waiting until my current controller goes to shit, and then I'll use the one I got with my Xbox Series X. The one I forgot that was in the fucking box when you came over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, where the fuck is this thing?
I basically am fighting Chaos Gods at this point. Like the Warhammer 40k and, well, more accurately, the Elric and Corum variety.
Are you fighting avatars of them? Because it wouldn't really make sense if you're fighting literally.
Well, I don't think they're like actual gods. They're like straight up like lieutenant demigods. That's basically what you're fighting. And even then, after you kill them, they're like shape-shifting into something else just to get away.
Good.
It'd be funny if one of them's named Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
Oh man.
Oh boy. That's a
Like-
good time.
Be like in the the first Ascendant. You're gonna fight this elite Vulgus commander, Greg.
Greg, you met
know
your
what they-
match. I'm a hot chick with a great cake.
All right, let's test this. Oh shit! I forgot to put mods on it. Quickly, quickly now, quickly!
Quickly.
Throw them on. There we go. There we go. Woo! Got to throw them on there. I was gonna start shooting the weapon and be like, "Wow, why does it fucking suck?"
You know, this place is a lot smaller than I thought it would be. I'm not exactly complaining either.
What other games we got coming out this year?
Oh god, King Bob's saying try buying just the dongle for the wireless guitars for Guitar Hero games. It's $50+. Yeah, I believe it. That sounds about right.
Yeah, but is it $50+ now because it's no longer like a thing? Guitar Hero, at least like mainstream like it used to be. Why did they stop making the games?
I think they stopped selling. I think that's right.
Doubt that. I doubt it. Like Guitar Hero,
It
massive.
was huge there for a while.
Everyone in the know fucking play Guitar Hero.
Just die, will you? Just die. Oh my god. Is that like 2 health? Now die. Die.
Die some more. Die.
Die some more.
Dye your hair like one of them SJWs. Die now.
Die now.
This is gonna be Arnold's fucking campaign when he becomes president. You'll die now. Alright, this weapon's fun.
We have all the internal organs we need now.
That sounds pretty gay.
When I
Gay.
met you that first time in Axiom Prison,
Yeah, we have
don't
all
you
the
remind me
organs
of
we
the
could
mountain
find, you
muscle?
know?
I was wrong about you, Kadari.
Sounds like some gay innuendo. Like Barack Obama used to do, you know?
Sure.
Yep.
Alright, time for a real boss fight.
You and I will create the most beautiful of nightmares together.
Yeah.
Creation,
Spiel.
the realm of the gods, isn't it? Bow your head to your
Alright, controller, you're freaking out on the fucking vibration shit. Calm down.
Oh, what the fuck are you? Oh my god. Die, Piety. Die. Oh my god. I'm gonna die.
I'm surprised we haven't got an announcement on another Battlefield. I guess Battlefield 2042 was so shit that it killed any hopes of another one.
Now, Exile!
It's been, what, 2 or 3 years since Battlefield 2014?
It's been a little while, honestly.
It was rancid ass.
Yeah,
I know it
Fill my
killed.
potions. Ow! Please. Ow. I walked right into that. Can't harm him.
How much do you think
I-
Dragon Age is going to sell?
How much do I think what's going to sell?
Dragon Age 4.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna sell. I think it's gonna sell terribly.
What do you think happens to BioWare
This is what I
if it
get.
does?
It's probably the end for them. I really think so.
So sure that I was creating a prouder world. I thought the Kadari beneath such a
Now they're also working on a Mass Effect 4, which I hope never sees
Leave
the
me
day.
I've got some explaining to
I
do
don't think it's gonna
to
last
my
very long.
ancestors. You go.
Let us see if you truly understand
We'll see.
what it means to be nightmare.
Yeah. Come on,
Yeah, I
Malachi.
would say that it wouldn't, but how many casual people even know about Dragon Age anymore?
A lot of people know about Dragon Age Origins, surprisingly enough. It's just beyond that, beyond Inquisition, not an absolute ton. Like, Dragon Age Origins was kind of a game that kind of transcended boundaries a little bit. Like, a lot of people in general really like that game.
Accept the gift of immortality.
I just suspect, because, I mean, keep in mind also you had Baldur's Gate, an actual CRPG,
Yeah.
and then people, like casuals, are going to go from that to Dragon Age 4, which is not going to have any of the level of like role-playing options. Not going to have, even Dragon Age or Baldur's Gate 3 didn't have the best writing, but it's not even going to have anywhere close to what they were able to do, you know?
Right. Just imagine how worse this is gonna be for Dragon Age 4.
Some people might like the combat. The combat looks ass to me, but
Oh, it looks terrible.
then again, people might like that because I don't know.
I don't know. Oh my god.
The companions they've already shown look like ass. It's like a detective to Venture Imperium chick.
Yeah.
Like the main one we were pushing. What was it? You had a Canary who looked like a fucking twink. A Canary!
Yeah, Kunari of all things. Basically an Ox Tiefling. They're meant to look even more satanic.
It's like, what is going on here?
I don't rightly know.
You know what his design reminds me of? You remember in Dragon Age 2, the elf chick?
No.
Because they kind
Oh yeah, I do.
So they kind of like redesigned the elves in Dragon Age 2, and they were like these weird, like skinny, like body shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
What they looks like they done with that Canary, dude.
Please die, will you? He's below half health. That's something. Ow.
And we're still
Oh
stuck.
my god.
I know Stormcrow loves the character, but he's fucking ass, the dwarf.
Oh, what's his name? Varric?
Yeah, Varric.
Oh yeah, I hate that character.
You're gonna be stuck with him again. Why have we not gotten past? He's been in fucking Dragon Age 2.
He's been in so many games.
He was in Inquisition.
Oh my god, I cannot. Oh my god. This fight is kind of insane.
They're gonna have to have my favorite companion from Dragon Age Inquisition, but they're gonna ruin him. He's the fag dude.
Oh yeah.
Dorian.
The Kunari.
No, not the Canary. That's the Ironborn Inquisition. He's the Tevinter mage.
Just die.
He becomes king of like the Tevinter Imperium.
Yeah. Can't believe I actually got this guy.
He was actually a fun character in Inquisition, and now modern politics, I'm sure they totally won't make him worse.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there goes this god of corruption or whatever. Just a bunch of bleeding hearts all over the place.
This god of you'll kill him 30 more times to get your item.
Well, obviously, you know. It's just how it's gonna go. Alright, and with that, I think that's probably a good time to end it. So for everybody who joined us tonight, thanks so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun, and we hope you have a great weekend, and hail the Iron Age. My name is the Lord Otter. I was joined here by Billy Bob Sack.
Cuplop.
Good night, everybody. Have a great one.